What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here, and today we're going to learn a really fun kind of guitar exercise, little song thing that we're doing where we're just going to take one chord and we're going to use it to explore the entire fretboard and talk about the different things you can do with just one single chord. That is really a great expansive way of understanding everything. So make sure you click the link below because we've tabbed out everything we're going to do here. And basically it starts in the people's key, the key of G. Okay? So, we're not playing a regular G major chord. In fact, if you want to talk about just how you can take stuff in the key of G and maybe kind of jazzify it, like turn a regular G major, A minor, B, C, D, E minor, F sharp, G key into like 7 chords. I'm going to link you to another video talking about chord scales and how to chordify basically any kind of jazzy type chords. Okay, so that is in the description. If you've never seen a G major 7 chord, you might want to watch that first. But basically, here's what we got. We're replacing a G major open chord with this G major 7 chord. Basically, a lot of people kind of get turned off by the names of some of the more extensive chords, extended chords, right? G major 7 is just a G major plus the 7th note in its scale, right? And it's always really easy to find the 7th note of any scale. Here's a G, the 3rd fret on the low E string. The 7th note is always a note right before it, okay? F sharp. We can play through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or you can just go back 1. So any way that we can add an F sharp to a G major, we're gonna make a G major 7 chord, okay? The easiest way to do that is take the F sharp on the E string, the high E string, 2nd fret, and maybe just take that right there. That's one really easy chord voicing you can do, but I want to use this G major 7 chord voicing, all right? So my pointer finger is on the low E string, 3rd fret. My ring finger is on the F sharp on the D string, 4th fret. Pinky is on the F or the 4th fret of the G string. Middle finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. We're going to start to riff a little bit after that, okay? And we're going to talk about where that riff comes from. So first of all, let's just talk about these notes. In a G chord, you have a G, a B, and a D note. And like I said, we just added an F sharp, okay? Memorizing all that can be a lot, but learning a hand shape isn't that difficult. You just take the root note. We're going to take the 5th fret and go to the 7th fret. So this is our way to get from a G to a B, the 3rd fret to the 7th fret. And then the only other note we need for a G major chord is this note right here, a D. In a traditional open chord voicing, the open D string gets it, but we want the D on the 5th fret of the A string, okay? So, there's the chord, one note at a time, arpeggio style, right? So we're gonna play, let's start with just that, okay? I'm taking that chord voicing we used, striking the root note, and then I'm getting it down, up, in kind of like the middle part of the string set, like the D and G strings. And then another downstroke to kind of buy my hand time. So it's root, down, up, down, and then into that arpeggio. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to practice. Alright, but it doesn't sound super complete. So let's add some more notes. We could add the major 7 here, if you want. You're going to have the option to do that because this is eventually going to be how you're going to explore the fretboard and not just really kind of repeating what we're talking about, but really using this knowledge to make up your own stuff, right? So we've got G major 7. That's going to be the main riff we're going to start with, right? We have that arpeggio, down a string, there's the G on the D string, the 5th fret, 7th fret, back to the 5th fret. So basically it's just a little flourish that's following up that arpeggio. Now another thing we could do is maybe just alter that a little bit so it sounds like it has some variety when you go back and forth. So instead of going, do it on the A string. the arpeggio, I just stayed on the A string. Okay, so we're kind of alternating back and forth between just the last 5, 7, 5, either on the D string or the A string. But we're starting on that G major 7 every time. Second time. Then alternate. Now where else can you use this? You can use it absolutely anywhere. So what is another chord that you usually see paired with the G major chord? C would be the first thing that I think of, right? The C on the low E string is the 8th fret. Do the exact same shape, but now we're starting on the 8th fret of the low E string. Same chord voicing, so now my root note is the C on the low E string, pointer finger. Skipping the A string, 9 and 9, D and G, ring and pinky, and then the 8th fret on the B string with your middle finger. Root, down, up, down. Root, down, up, down, alternate. And then now we can go back and forth. One thing you may notice is the sound of that slide is really kind of like a fun thing that you can do, right? So we'll do that after the last one. Start back on the G, and then slide it all the way, and then arrive there again. And then now my ring finger's lined up with the 12th fret to slide back. Okay, so you can do this on absolutely any chord. G and C always sound pretty good together. But I also want to do another G chord, kind of in the same, just a different voicing, but the same thing that we've already done, right? So let's go to the A string. Where's the first G that you'll find on the A string? You can count through all the notes. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, B, F sharp, G, the 10th fret of the A string. Now it takes longer to count forward than just to find an A. The 12th fret is always going to be the note that you start on. A flat, G. We do the same thing. But now we're in a different spot. So since we're rooting on the A string, we need a different chord voicing, okay? That's why a lot of this can be done with just the same chord, and that's what we're using to explore mainly. We have the G on the A string, pointer finger, right? Ring finger, 12 on the D string, middle finger, 11 on the G string, pinky, 12 on the B string. That's the same chord as this, just a different voicing. The same notes, G, B, D, and F sharp. And then once we start on the root note, everything else stays the same. So that G arpeggio, that G, A, B, is now 10, 12, 14. And D, right, remember, it's just the open D string, but now we're on the 12th fret because that's where the octave of D is, right? So G, major 7. And then the same flourish that we did before, but now we're on the G string, 12th fret, 14 to 12. Again, that 2 fret space is also just known as like a whole step. You can hammer on and pull off like that, or you can pick each time. It's a really good opportunity to maybe work on your alternate picking up and down, right? So let's go back and forth between just a G chord and forget that there's even another chord, like a C chord in this progression, which we'll talk about in a second, but G. Again, with the lower one. Okay, so it's really kind of like a fun thing that you can do because you start here in the low part, you kind of navigate around, then you go higher and then navigate around, and then you can kind of just move that shape all over the place. All you have to do is find a root note. You can do this all in the key of A. So just find an A, the 5th fret on the low E string, right? Same chord voicing, but now we're pointer finger 5th fret on the E string, your ring finger and pinky on the 6th fret of the D and G strings, and your middle finger is on the 5th fret of the B string, just like that. it's the exact same thing. We're just starting off of a different location. You can go higher. Now I'm on the 12th fret of the A string because that's... And then combine them with open chords that you already know between, right? So that G to C progression, we have a lot of different options. Now we can do the G here or here. And we can do the C here, or find the C on the A string. A sharp, B, C, 3rd fret. So, one thing that you could do is work on both of them back to back. Instead of going from G to C, even though I like the sound of that slide, you can maybe make it a little more efficient by just going from here to this C. So again, that's a lot that you can do in just one spot with just 2 different chords. Anytime you see something in the key of G, instead of just going G to C to G to C, now you can kind of go G. And eventually be able to get really fast with those lines. That's what I love about practicing arpeggios, is that you can kind of like take them all over the place, and it really increases. You'll be shocked at how fast your hand speed increases with just being able to kind of do one really simple arpeggio run with a flourish, okay? So definitely, if this was a little bit over your head, check out that lesson that we're gonna link below, because it goes through an entire chord scale, learning a different chord for each chord that you'll find in the key of G, and then you can use these tips in addition to those tips and just become more aware of the fretboard and have just a better, complete understanding of it. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and then let us know what maybe you want to see more of, maybe suggestions of different songs or types of lessons you want to see, and we'll get back to you. And then in the meantime, check out that lesson that's linked below, or other great videos on the Guitar Control channel by myself and other fine instructors. Thanks for watching.